Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a homemade jerk seasoning recipe. If you guys remember, my very first YouTube tutorial was the oven jerk chicken video, but a lot of you guys did ask if I could do a jerk seasoning recipe from scratch that you could make at home. So if you like this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Okie dokie guys, so to get started, we want to take our scallions or large spring onions, and you just want to chop off the very tops and the very bottoms. They're usually dirty, they look a bit straggly, we don't want any of that. So once you cut those off and remove like the outer skin and all the grubby little bits and bobs, you want to just chop them roughly into little sections. Yeah, nothing fancy, don't overthink it, just chop it up and then drop all of that into the blender. And then once we've done that, we can move on to our garlic. So I'm just using my meat tenderizer. As you know, I always use this to squash my garlics, and I'm just going to remove the outer skin and drop them into the blender whole. And then my friend Toye actually showed me this trick. Well, he told me about it anyway. And I'm just going to use a teaspoon to scrape the skin off of the ginger. It's a lot safer than using a knife, and it's really easy. And then I'm going to drop my ginger into the blender. And then for my scotch bonnet peppers, I'm removing the top parts. I'm showing you right now the bits that you want to remove if you don't want it to be too spicy, which is known as the pith and the seeds. But obviously traditionally it is quite spicy, jerk seasoning, so I leave them in and I just drop my peppers in whole. The more pepper you use, the hotter it will be, of course. And then I'm going to drop in some fresh thyme as well, the whole thing, the sticks and everything, squash that bad boy in there. And then I'm going to drop in my pimento seeds, my sea salt, nutmeg, and some black pepper. And then I'm also going to drop in some molasses sugar. So this is the brand that I use, and it has to be molasses. You can see it's a lot thicker and a lot darker than normal sugar. And then I drop in some oil. Sometimes I use sunflower, sometimes I use olive oil. And then I'm using pickling vinegar. I would recommend using the pickling one. It has a slightly different flavor. And then we're going to line that up on the motor. And I go between a high speed and a low speed just because we've got all of those ingredients. You've got onions and stuff, and it's hard to whiz it around. Oh, I forgot to add in lemon juice, so I put that in while the blender was on. But once it's all kind of smoothed out, this is what your seasoning should look like. And to be honest, at this point, guys, we're done. That is it. It's so easy. And I just like to store it in a nice jar. I use my Kilner jars for things like this, and because we've got the vinegar and the lemon juice, it should help store it for quite a while, as long as you keep it in the fridge, because it is a lot of fresh ingredients. And that is basically it. We are done. And so then what we're going to do, we're just going to throw it back for you guys. And we're just going to take it back to my first YouTube video. If you guys remember, I did an oven jerk chicken recipe. And a lot of you guys asked if I could show you how to do the jerk seasoning, which is why we've done this video, isn't it? So we're just going to do it again. So this is the seasoning going on. If you need any reminders of all like the little tips and tricks and stuff, definitely check out my first video. I will leave it in somewhere on the screen anyway for you guys to click. So I'm just rubbing that jerk seasoning into the chicken, making sure I'm getting all the nooks and crannies. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to wrap it up in some cling film and leave it overnight to marinate, or a few hours at least if you can, if you've got the time. And then once that time has passed, you already know the drill. We want a cup of water into the bottom to help it steam. Before we put it into the oven, we put on some foil, put that bad boy in. Halfway through, you're going to take the foil off, and you're going to use the juices in the bottom to baste your chicken intermittently. I usually check it around like every 10 minutes, and I just baste it every 10 minutes until it's cooked through, done. And this is what it should look like. Lovely color, lovely texture. It's not looking too roasted. Of course, we don't have a jerk pan, we're using the oven, so this is as good as it's gonna get personally. And this is me just being a real Jamaican jerk man with my cleaver and my fork, chopping up the chicken just to get that real authentic look. And to finish off, we are going to drizzle over some jerk sauce. I'm gonna list the videos and the links for all of this down below, so don't worry guys, if you haven't seen my first video, definitely check it out, but the links will be there. Yeah, I'm drizzling that on top, and then I'm gonna tuck in because this tasted sensational. I really enjoyed it. I do love the jar seasonings when I haven't got the time or the energy to make my own, but as you guys can see, it's really simple, and it lasts for quite a while. So where you can, definitely make your own seasoning, but if you can't, no worries. Please remember to check me out on all my social media, and I shall see you guys next time.